Hi, hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Warren's Team Talk. I hope you're all well and having a great day, and thank you very much for joining me. And I hope you're all fine and in good health and taking care of yourself. So what we're doing today, we're going to be watching the 3 p.m. kickoffs as they kick off in the FA Premier League today. And also keeping an eye on all the other games that are going on in the world of football up and down this country. So I'm sure that'll be absolutely fun. If it's as good as it was last week, it'll be absolutely wild, because it was the FA Cup 4th round last weekend, and I have to say it was absolutely superb. So we've got a chat here already, and it's Taib. Hi Taib, how you doing, sir? He says, hello, Warren. Yeah, nice to see you, mate. And yeah, I'm still thinking about that Muffer Twitter show that Lee Gunner did yesterday. Oh my God, that was so funny. Some of them people, I don't know how they've got the balls to go on a public platform like that and humiliate themselves. It's just unbelievable. It really is. But yeah, I hope you're all right, mate, and you're having a good day. Thanks very much for coming in. So, without further ado, let's get my banner up. I don't know what the hell happened. I lost my banner earlier. But there we go. Let's have a look. Yeah, 2 seconds, guys, and I'll be with you. All right, I think we're just going to have to leave it like that for now, and we'll just carry on. Taib says, Warren, I get a sense that the current Arsenal players are not happy under Arteta. Mate, you're not the only one who thinks that, because that's what I think as well. I think there's quite a few of them. I think there are fallout from Aubameyang being booted out of the club is going to be bigger than what he thought it was. I really do. Tony's in. Tony Blackwell. Afternoon, Warren, says Tony. Afternoon, Tony, mate. I hope you're well. I hope you're not doing any madness with any cats this afternoon. Tony says afternoon. Hi, Taib. And Taib says hi, Tony. Yeah. Anyway, Tony, I hope you're well. It's lovely to see you. Thanks for coming in. So anyway, let's get on with it. Just to remind everyone, there's a petition available, the link for which is in the description of the video. If you want to sign a petition to stop Mikel Arteta being offered a new contract, so just click on the link. It's completely free, and you can sign it if that's what you want to do. Now, earlier today, Manchester United took on Southampton. The game ended in a 1-1 draw. Sancho scored for United after 20 minutes, and Adams scored for Southampton just after half time. It's a fairly even game by the looks of it. If you look at the stats, it certainly seems to suggest that anyway. So a point for United and a point for Southampton. I guess at the end of the day, Southampton will be happier with that than what United will. But anyway, so the games we're going to be focusing on this afternoon mostly is Brentford against Crystal Palace, Everton against Leeds, and Watford against Brighton. And then this is the Premier League table after Saturday's lunchtime kickoff. Manchester United moved up to 5th. They got they're now a point ahead of Arsenal, who are in 6th, and West Ham are in 4th, equal on points with United. And Arsenal got 2 games in hand over Manchester United and West Ham, though. And Tottenham have got a game in hand on Arsenal and are 3 points behind. Now, one of these games, well, it's not really a game in hand, but Arsenal got to play Spurs at White Hart Lane soon. So that will be interesting. That's going to be a massive 6-pointer, that game, that's for sure. Tony says, no, my cat won't come near me. Laugh out loud. I don't blame you, mate. Jesus, dear Lord. I just can't believe that carry on. It was outrageous. Taib says, Tony, have you been smelling your cat's nether regions? Laugh out loud. And Tony Blackwell says, laugh out loud, Taib. And Tony Blackwell says, Taib. There you go. Yeah, so what's going on? So that's the league table as it is at the moment. Let's get rid of that damn banner because it's way too big and I'm not happy with it. Oh, that's it. That's more like it. Anyway, so this is the lineups for the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Brentford have gone with Raya, Jansen as captain, Pinnock, Canos, Janelt, Norgard, Jensen, Henry, Mbeumo, and Wissa. And Palace are going with Gaeta. Ward is captain. Guai, Anderson, Mitchell, Hughes, Schlupp, Gallagher, AU, Edward, and Zaha. And no laughing about pronunciations, please, Taib. As I know, it's absolutely shocking. Now, the teams are lining up. Brentford have gone for a 3-5-2. And Palace are going for a 4-3-3. Everton, they have gone with Pickford in goal, Kenny, Coleman, Holgate, Keane, Iwobi, Alan, Van der Beek, Gordon, Richarlison, and Calvert-Lewin. And Leeds have gone with what's that kid's name? Messler, I think it is. Dallas, Strunk, Lorient, Aylin, Kosh, and Click, and then Harrison. I can't even read that. Rodrigo, and I can't read the other one. We'll have a look at that in a minute. And James, and they look, those teams, they're lining up. Everton are going for a 4-4-2, and Leeds are going with a 4-1-4-1. And the guy's name I couldn't read was Harrison. So Leeds played that formation quite a lot this season, I think. And I heard someone this morning talking about Leeds saying that they'd had a lot of injuries this season. That's why they've not been performing, but that they're quite happy with the way they played in the last 2 games because they had a really good draw at Aston Villa last week. They drew 3 each, didn't they? So now Watford, they've gone with Foster, King, Cleverley, Kamara, Cathcart, Sissoko as captain, Firmino, Samir, Dennis, Cookar, and Quayemba. And then Brighton have gone with Sanchez, Lamptey, Cucurella, Webster, Dunk, Malpai, Gross, Liana, Moda, Welbeck, and Veltman. And that lot, Watford are lining up with a 4-4-2, and Brighton are lining up with a 3-4-1-2. So all three of those games, I think, are going to be really interesting. See that bloody ugly mug's face. So they, I think they'll be interesting games. What's your predictions for these games, people? What do you think will happen? What do you think the score will be in these games? Tony's saying James must be at Everton. I think they should beat Leeds today. Yeah, I don't know, man. Leeds have been banging in a few goals of late, so I don't know. They should do, but whether they will or not, whether they're going to get the new manager bounce. I mean, they did last week in the cup match, didn't they? But then they got slapped 3-1 at Newcastle, didn't they, during the week? And then Taib says, there's a cat in my workplace, and I've got to admit, it's the sweetest thing I've come across. It's very loving, so very loving, so I treat it with some food. Good for you, man. Do you know, this is a true story, no word of a lie, right? I remember years ago, I had to go to this office somewhere it was for an estate agent or something. It wasn't because I was renting a flat or anything like that, but I had to go there and collect something. And when I got there, the receptionist, she had a cat with her on her desk, and the cat was sat in the in tray, on the top of the in tray, just sitting there watching everything that was going on and flicking its tail, which usually when cats do that, then it's complete opposite of dogs. Because, you know, if a dog is swinging its tail, it means it's happy, that it's wagging its tail. With a cat, if it's flicking its tail like that, that's a danger signal. You fucking get out of there because it's about to go on the attack. So, I just thought I'd share that one with you because I've never, ever seen that before. Anyway, so let's get the Chrome tab. Let's get that. Right, okie doke. Let's get that down. And what we're going to do, we're going to there you go. Look, it's saying Goodison Park is United. Leon Osman, former Everton midfielder on BBC Radio 5 Live. If Rafa Benitez was still in charge, I'd have said Everton needed to win these games. Newcastle last week and Leeds today, because I don't see where they'd pick up points further down the line. Goodison Park is a United place again. Everyone is behind the manager and the team. Nobody is getting frustrated that things aren't going well on the pitch. I can see if Everton transforming into a difficult place to go. Yeah, I can too, to be honest. But for me, keep going back to what James said about Everton, that it's not just Benitez, it's the people above him are a problem. So if it starts going wrong, then Everton fans are the same as every other football fan. They're going to start kicking off. Tony says, think Palace will beat Brentford 2-1. Chelsea a scrape of 1-0. Everton beat Leeds 2-1. Brighton beat Watford 2-0. And Man City have a training session and beat Norwich 5-0. Yeah, probably, mate. Yeah, I forgot about that. Chelsea are playing in the Club World Cup final today, aren't they, against Palmeiras. What time is that kicking off? Let's have a look, see if it says football scores and fixtures. Yeah, the Chelsea game kicks off at 4:30. So I'm assuming it's being played in one of the venues that are going to be used for the World Cup. Well, I'd imagine that's what's going to happen. I don't know, but yeah, it'll be interesting. I wouldn't mind watching that somewhere later. We're watching the highlights anyway. So, well, the games have kicked off. It's Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0, Leeds 0, and Watford 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. Other games today, apart from that Chelsea Palmeiras game. Huddersfield played Sheffield United earlier and it ended in a 0-0 draw. Barnsley against Queen's Park Rangers. Barnsley are in big trouble, man. They're in a mess. I know they weren't happy with the way the game in the FA Cup was refereed last week, but I don't know. I think they're a bit of a mess. Birmingham against Luton Town. Blackpool against Bournemouth. Hull against Fulham. Middlesbrough against Derby. Millwall against Cardiff. Forest against Stoke City. Peterborough United against Preston North End. And Reading against Coventry. And League One, Accrington Stanley against Crewe Alexandra. AFC Wimbledon against Sunderland. Burton Albion against Cambridge United. Cheltenham against Fleetwood Town. Lincoln City against Wycombe Wanderers. Milton Keynes Dons against Ipswich Town. Morecambe against Gillingham. Oxford United against Bolton Wanderers. Plymouth against Shrewsbury. Portsmouth against Doncaster Rovers. And Wigan against Charlton. And then League 2. Barrow against Stevenage. Bradford against Exeter. Bristol Rovers against Mansfield Town. Colchester United against Carlisle United. Crawley Town against Hartlepool. Leyton Orient against Salford. Newport County against Oldham. Port Vale against Northampton. Rochdale 0. Harrogate Town 1. The first few minutes of the game there. Sutton United against Forest Green Rovers. Swindon against Scunthorpe. And Walsall against Tranmere Rovers. Also today, they're playing the FA Trophy, and our dear friend Dan, their Stockport County, Dan's team, are playing at home against Cheshunt. So that'll be interesting. It's the fifth round of the FA Trophy. So there we go. The games have already kicked off and whatnot. So it'll be interesting to see what happens today with these games. So, Tony, have you heard anything from Terry lately? If you have, how is he? Is he doing all right? I hope he's all right. I hope he's okay. I have to admit, I do miss his delusional comments and diatribe. I do miss it. I used to find it quite entertaining. But yeah, never mind. Bless him. And Taib, sir, if you're still here, I'm not sure if you're still here or not. If you are, what did you think about Gary Gabriel Martinelli sending off the other night up at Wolves. And also, did you watch Curtis Shaw losing it in his watch along? There's this clip of him on YouTube going on about Lacazette when Lacazette missed this absolute sitter in that game, and Curtis just went absolutely mental. He was sitting there on the stream and he was scared. You are a fraud, Lacazette. You are not a striker. He is not a striker. It was absolutely hilarious. Oh my God. So I put a comment in one of Curtis's videos, I think the next day, and said, he's not a striker, Curtis. He's not a striker. And then put Arteta. He is not a manager. Yeah, that's my comment about it. Arteta, he is not a manager. He's a fraud. Yeah, so my video that I'm going to do, where I break down where I think it's going wrong at Arsenal and what I think we can do next to move the club forward. That I'm going to put that out tomorrow. And I'm going to do a live stream because I want to see what these Muppets say when I start coming out with all this stuff, because I'm sure that they're going to absolutely hate it. Brian, watch K Arman on YouTube. They show all the YouTubers who follow teams. The reactions are hilarious. Oh my God. I hope I'm not on it. Probably not big enough, anywhere near big enough to get on it, thankfully. Yeah, because that reaction video I did after the Everton game, when I just went absolutely mental. I think that was my finest moment. That was my finest moment because I absolutely lost it. And there's been a few, I have to say. But yeah, I'm going to have a look at that, Tony, because that sounds really funny. So let's see what's going on. And let's see. Right, here we go. It's been a substitution already after 8 minutes. Leeds' ridiculous injury issues this season continue. Stuart Dallas has had to leave the game early. On comes Leo Hegelda to replace him. The Norwegian played in the recent 3-2 win at West Ham. Well, they must be pissed about that, because to lose a player and not even have 10 minutes play, that is fucking annoying. Alan Hutton, former Scotland defender on BBC 5 Live. Yeah, and by the way, mate, Alan Hutton, you are an absolute wrong 'un, mate. Fucking dirty bastard. Everton have been excellent so far. The work rate has been fantastic. It's been a really good start. Manchester United manager Ralph Rangnick speaking to BT Sport. Let's see what he's had to say. Unfortunately, it was very similar to the last couple of games. A very good first half. Very, very good first half. Very good first half hour. We did all the things we intended to do with their counter attacks and deep runs. We created, scored a goal, and it looks like it's been a goal. There's been a goal. There we go, Tony. Special. Harry Maguire was awful today. Got twisted and turned. Wouldn't like to be a United fan. No, neither would I, mate. Because I think they're having even worse time of it than what we are, to be frank. So, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, Ralph Rangnick. A very good first half. Very good first half hour. We did all the things we intended to do with the counter-attacks and the deep runs. We created, scored a great goal, then we stopped doing that. At the end of the first half, we didn't do these things anymore, and then the second we got lost a bit of shape. In the first 20 minutes, we were struggling to defend. That happened in transition when they scored their goal. In the last 20 minutes, we had big chances to score again. Expected goals was in our favour, but we didn't get the result. We told the players they needed to be aggressive at half time, but in the end, it was different to perform like that on the pitch. Okay. And let's see. So, a goal has come at Goodison Park. It's Everton 1, Leeds 0, and it's been scored by Coleman. So let's go and have a look at that. Goal, Everton 1, Leeds United 0. Seamus Coleman, Everton, header from very close range to the bottom right corner. So I'd say that Goodison Park is absolutely hopping. I bet James is absolutely going ballistic. So there you go. Leeds 1-0 up already. The goal was so good. We had the fireworks twice. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's have it for a third time, just for the banter. There you go. Oh my God. Del Boy Gunner TV's here. Hi Warren, I hope you're good. Yeah, good mate. Nice to see you. I hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. Tony Blackwell says Rangnick clearly deluded. They did have chances, yes, but Southampton had more chances than they did. Yeah, I haven't seen the game, to be honest, mate, but I know Southampton have been playing well of late and they've been scoring quite a few goals. So I just think there's too many players not performing at the right level for United, like big players, like, for example, Ronaldo, Fernandes, that Sancho, although he scored today, Pogba. Do you know what I mean? You can't have 3-4 players not performing to a standard. Do you know what I mean? You can't. It's like, you know, it was like Arsenal when Ozil was here and there was like 3 or 4 of them not performing. It's a big problem. Start doing that and, you know, you're up against it from the get-go. Do you know what I mean? Taib says, Del Boy, what's the crack? What's the bleeding story? Laugh out loud. I love that line. Ty, my man. Ty says 1-0 Everton. Yeah, 1-0 Everton, mate. So I'm sure James is absolutely loving it, bless him. So fair play to him. Big up, James. Okay, so Seamus Coleman has ended a run of 79 Everton appearances without a goal in all competitions since he netted in a 2-0 Premier League home victory against Burnley on the 3rd of May 2019 when Marco Silva was manager of the Toffees. Jesus Christ, that's a long time. That's a long time, man, without scoring. So he'd be glad that that run's over and done with. What is he talking about? Is he having a laugh or what? I'll explain what I mean by that. Let me just check something because oh my God. I can't believe what that man has just said. That fucking Alan Hutton. He should be sacked. Look what he's just said. Alan Hutton, right? Now, this is unbelievable. This man is being paid to give his opinion about football. I do not understand why Donny van der Beek didn't play at Man United. He has been everywhere today. It generally baffles me. Yeah, it's been... Listen, he didn't play for United today. I don't know whether... If he means why didn't he play for United today, he needs to be sacked. Or if he means that he didn't play when he was there, then that's what he needs to say. Because that, to me, when I first read it, I thought he meant that why he didn't play today in today's game. Because if that's what he means, fucking hell, that's unreal. That really is unreal. It's just unbelievable. And that's what I mean about these bloody pundits. I'm sure that half of them, after time, are just saying this shit just to wind people up. And James, right, yeah, we've seen that. Chance for Brighton, Jacob Moder floats in a lovely cross, which Pascal Gross heads back across goal, but far too much cross goal. Well wide. Superb tackle from Mason Holgate in the Everton Leeds game. Rodrigo's pass almost releases Dan James into the box, but the Blues defender sticks out a boot to stop him and hits the woodwork. Everton 1, Leeds 0. Let off for Everton. Rodrigo goes for glory with an absolute superb dipping effort from range. It just doesn't dip enough though, and hammers against the bar. Jordan Pickford was well beaten. Let's see. He's Scottish, Ron. Hard to understand, but the best times. Oi, Tony. You know that I'm from a Scottish family, don't you? Well, that explains everything. Yeah, but he's from the other side, right? I think I'm. Let's put it this way: he likes his blue clothing. Let's put it like that. And I am the green one. So it's a wrong one, Tony. Honestly, an absolute wrong one. Everton are playing on the front foot. Rafinha against John Joe Kenny looked like an interesting matchup, but Kenny is getting forward and pushing Rafinha back into places he doesn't want to be. The Everton players giving their all, and that's why the fans are getting behind them. Everton 1, Leeds 0. Richarlison is down now for Everton, holding his ankle. It came from a tangle in the box. with Robin Koch and the keeper Ilian Meslier. Richarlison is up. He's limping to the touchline to get some more treatment, but he looks like he's going to be okay. Watford 0, Brighton 0. Brighton keeper Robert Sanchez and Adam Webster get up, getting each other's way from across, but the Spaniard just scoops it up eventually. Still precious little goal math action here. Two well-matched sides in the Brentford Palace game. What I want to know, right, now this is relating to Arsenal, is if, right, Martinelli is obviously going to be suspended for the next game. If between now and Arsenal play their next game, right, Lacazette gets COVID and Eddie Nketiah picks up an injury in training, who's going to be the striker? Who's going to be the striker? Because we've only got 3 strikers. We've got Nketiah and Lacazette and Martinelli, who can play as a striker and who's more of a left-sided forward, in my opinion. I wouldn't say he's a winger, because I don't think he is. He's more of a left-sided forward. So if that happens, then what we're going to do? Taib, if you're there, have you got any ideas about what I'm saying? Or Del Boy Gunner TV, you got any ideas, mate? Because I really want to know, because I just think it's a fucking shambles. Tony says the bloke walking his dog, Warren. Yes, exactly. Or they might get you or me to play up front. Jesus Christ. Running across the field with a cup of tea in one hand and a bacon roll in the other. Fucking hell. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Tony Blackwell says, what youngsters do you have in the reserves? Well, it's Florian Balogun, but they let him go on loan to Middlesbrough. Fucking hell, it's unbelievable. I've never, ever seen a mess like this at Arsenal. I haven't. It's just unbelievable. And there's been another goal, everyone. So here we go. Guy Fawkes is up and well and alive and kicking. And everyone, it's another goal. And the second goal of the day has come at Goodison Park. And it's Everton 2, Leeds United 0. And Everton, second goal comes from Keane. It came in the 23rd minute and was assisted by Gordon. Let's see if we can find out a bit more about it. So, yeah, goal, Everton 2, Leeds 0. Michael Keane, Everton, header from the centre of the box to the top left corner, and it was assisted by Anthony Gordon with a cross following a corner. There you go. So 2 headers for Everton, put them 2-0 up. So, yeah, they need to be careful with the headers, so they'll be getting done by the concussion people. So Everton 2, Leeds 0, and it's Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0, and Watford 0, Brighton 0. So there we go. And some comments. And Taib is saying, Warren, honestly, I don't know. Laugh out loud. Frothy mouth Eddie might be the next to get sent off. Laugh out loud. Mate, do you see the way that Mikel Arteta was manhandling him, and the way he had a go at fucking Lacazette? I'm telling you, someone soon is going to deck that cunt. I'm telling you, he's going to get fucking decked. I remember I've heard stories that when oh God, what's that big Swedish fella? The big Swedish striker who with the long hair and the ponytail, he's fucking really, really off key. God, what's his name? He played for Barcelona. And he's got a bit of an unusual name. Anyway, I think you guys, he's like probably Sweden's greatest ever player apart from Henrik Larsson, right? But when he played at Barcelona, and this fella has got, he's got contacts with the underworld, this bloke. And he played at Manchester United as well, I think, for a season. And he apparently he got upset with Pep Guardiola, and he threatened to kill him and have him dealt with. Jesus Christ. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. It is absolutely mad. And I'm telling you, one of them, all it's going to take is Arsenal to recruit someone who's a bit fucking off key, and I can see something like that happening at Arsenal. Jesus Christ. Honestly, I really could. Because he is fucking chancing his arm, mate. I'm telling you, the way he carries on, because he's not a big fellow, is he, Arteta? He's quite short, and I think he thinks he's like, a big man and all that. Well, yeah, let's see how he does when he comes up with someone who's got a bit about him. Do you know what I mean? Fucking hell. And Tony Blackwell puts in a load of them laughing emojis. And you need to recall Balogun then. Mate, we need to do something because this is a fucking joke. It really is. And this is why we shouldn't have allowed all these fucking people to go out on loan. You're going to get suspensions. You're going to get injuries. You're going to get people getting COVID. That's why you need a squad. I think we've got about 18 players in our first team squad now. It's just a madness. Taib says, call the emergency services, Warren. Arsenal are in a critical condition. It needs a cash injection. Laugh out loud. I'm not being funny. I think we need at least £750 million spent on players. £750 million if they want to compete. But I don't think he does. Honestly, the more I think about it, the more I think that all this madness at Arsenal is because the owner doesn't want to compete at the highest level, or doesn't want to qualify for the Champions League. Because if you look at everything that's happened since they got rid of Arsene Wenger, it all makes complete sense. If you look at it through that narrative and think about it from the owner's perspective, what would you do to make sure that the club wasn't competitive and didn't qualify for the Champions League? All the things that they've done, all the stunts they've pulled would be perfect things to do, because otherwise it don't make any bloody sense whatsoever. Warren, you've already signed enough that they're off key. Well, that's true. I mean, fucking all he needs to do is upset Granit Xhaka, mate. And I can see Granit Xhaka having him around by the throat. And I'd pay good money to see it, to be honest. The two of them going at it, because I can't stand either of them. Tony, do you need an Arsenal vaccine? Laugh out loud. Jesus Christ. That fella, honestly, I can't believe that he said that. That is one of the most ridiculous and off-key comments I think I've ever heard. Not even Terry, he's most deluded, ever come out with anything as mad as that. That is fucking on a different level. Honestly. Jesus. Tony, who do you think's worse? Terry or Julian? Jesus. Oh my God. Taib, every time watching the Arsenal channels going into meltdown, that's pure medicine for me. Yeah, it is, mate. It's hilarious because they talk such absolute shite. That's what annoys me about it. I find it's weird because I find it depressing, but I also find it really funny as well because the fact they're so fucking deluded. Honestly. And that was the thing I used to like about Terry. The things that he would come out with would get me really angry, but also I used to find it hilarious at the same time. But anyway, Ty says, Tony, Arsenal don't have any medications like that now. Well, I think they've got plenty of drugs, that's for sure. Whether they're medications or not, there's another matter. Because I think they must be on drugs if they think that what they're watching is acceptable. I really do, because it's a madness. It really is. So, let's look at what's going on around the grounds. And right. So let's see. So as we know, it's Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0, Everton 2, Leeds United 0, Wolves 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 0, and Barnsley 0, QPR 0, Birmingham 1, Luton Town 0, Blackpool 0, Bournemouth 0, Hull City 0, Fulham 0, Middlesbrough 1, Derby County 0, Buchanan scored for Middlesbrough. Let's see if Balogun. Oh, Balogun started for Middlesbrough today. Millwall 0, Cardiff 0, Nottingham Forest 0, Stoke City 0, Peterborough United 0, Preston North End 0, Reading 1, Coventry 0. Then League 1 is Accrington Stanley 1, Crewe Alexandra 0, AFC Wimbledon 1, Sunderland 0. Show the scores. Yeah, let's put that on. And then Burton Albion 1, Cambridge United 1, Cheltenham 0, Fleetwood Town 0, Lincoln 1, Wycombe Wanderers 0, Milton Keynes Dons 0, Ipswich Town 0, Morecambe 0, Gillingham 0, Oxford United 1, Bolton 1, Plymouth Argyle 0, Shrewsbury Town 0, Portsmouth 0, Doncaster 0, Wigan Athletic 1, Charlton Athletic 1. Then League 2, it's Bradford City 0, Exeter 0, Bristol Rovers and Mansfield Town, Colchester and Carlisle United, Crawley and Hartlepool, Leyton Orient and Salford City. All those games are 0-0. Newport County 1, Oldham Athletic 1, Port Vale 0, Northampton 0, Rochdale 1, Harrogate Town 2. And the other three games in the division, Sutton and against Forest Green Rovers, Swindon against Scunthorpe, and Walsall against Tranmere Rovers. They're all 0-0. And the National League is Barnet 0, Wilson 2, Dover Athletic 1, Torquay United 1, Eastleigh 0, Yeovil Town 0, Grimsby Town 1, Aldershot Town 0, Kings Lynn Town 0, Altrincham 0, Weymouth 0, Chesterfield 0. And the National League North, it's Telford United 0, Kidderminster Harriers 0, Alfreton Town 0, Gateshead 2, Blythe Spartans 1, Kettering 1, Boston United 0, Southport 1, Brackley Town 0, ASC Clyde 0, Darlington 1, Chester 1, Farsley Celtic and Hereford and Guiseley are all 0-0. Leamington 2, Chorley 0. And then in the National League South, it's Bath City 0, Dorking 0. Billericay 2, Dulwich Hamlet 0. And then the games at Chelmsford, Concord Rangers and Eastbourne Borough, they're all 0-0. And Ebbsfleet 0, Slough Town 1. Oxford City 1, Hemel Hempstead 0, St Albans City 0, Braintree 0, and Welling United 0, Chippenham 0. And in the FA Trophy, Notts County are 1-0 up at Halifax. And Solihull Moors are 1-0 up at Stourbridge. And Wrexham are 2-0 up against Boreham Wood. And Morpeth Town are 1-0 up at York City, and all the other games are 0-0. So Dan Evans's Stockport County are still drawing 0-0 with Cheshunt. So there you go. That's all the games. And it's still Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0, Everton 2, Leeds United 0, and Watford 0, Brighton 0. So I dare say that James is very, very happy. Tired. Yes, mate, I think he did. He's probably in competition with Terry to see who can come out with the most deluded comments. So Ty says Julian took the deluded vaccine. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I think he probably did, mate. I think he probably did. So let's see how these games are going individually. So let's go to the Brentford Community Stadium and see what's going on there. So Brentford, currently it's Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0. And Crystal Palace are 12th in the table. Brentford are 14th, and there's 2 points separating them. So there's a lot at stake in this game for those two. And Brentford have had 43% possession, and Crystal Palace have got 57%. Brentford have had 5 shots, and Palace have had 3, and they've had 1 shot on target each. Brentford have had 2 corners, and Palace have had 3, and Brentford have made 3 fouls, and Palace have made 3. So that's the Brentford against Crystal Palace match. Everton against Leeds. Let's have a look, see what's going on here. So Everton against Leeds. Okay. So Everton have had 46% possession. Leeds have had 54%. Everton have had 8 shots, 5 on target. And Leeds have had 2 shots, but none are on target. What's what I don't understand? How can it be that Leeds have had no shots on target? I'm pretty right. Earlier, I read something out saying that Leeds Rafinha had struck the crossbar. So surely that's on target, isn't it? If he hits the woodwork, that's an Doesn't that count as an on-target effort? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it has to be saved by the keeper, or it has to be going in order for it to count as on target. I always thought it was that the keeper has to save it, stop it going in the goal, or it hits the woodwork to count as on target. But maybe I'm wrong. Corner count, it's 2 to Everton, 1 to Leeds, and the foul count, it's 2 to Everton and 5 to Leeds. So looks like Everton are enjoying the lion's share of the lion's share of the match there. And let's go back. And oh, blimey, look at this. Watford have had 28% possession against Brighton's 72%. Watford have had 3 shots and Brighton have had 4. Watford haven't had any shots on target and Brighton have had 2. Corner count is 2 to Watford, 3 to Brighton, and there's been 4 fouls for Watford and 5 for Brighton. So there you go. Looks like Brighton are dismantling Brighton. They just need a goal to show for their superiority by the looks of it. There we go. He's back again. Now, Alan Hutton, you can't keep a good man down, can you? And there we go, guys. And there's been another goal. It's come at Watford just as I was saying that Brighton need a goal to underline their superiority. What do? They go and score. So it's Watford 0, Brighton 1. Neil Maupay, the tormentor of Ty from AFTV, scores it in the 44th minute, and apparently it was an absolute stunning goal according to this. So there you go. No. 44th minute. Tony says, well, I've got to go as I'm working tonight. Gonna make something to eat. Hope to get on back before I leave. See you soon. Thank you very much for coming on, Tony. I really appreciate it, mate. Yeah, I hope I see you soon too as well. If you don't get back on, I hope you have a good night at work. Please say hello to Terry for me and tell him I'm missing his delusional comments and whatnot. Yeah, I hope he's well. Him and all his family and his dogs are well. Anyway, Taib, see you soon, says Tony. Bye, Tony, says Taib. Goal Flash, Warren's TikTok says, Goal Flash, Watford 0, Brighton 1, Maupay, 44th minute. So there we go. Everton 2, Leeds 0. And yeah, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's low shot is pushed away by Ilian Meslier, and it looks like Everton are really pushing on, trying to get a third one before half time. And it hits the wood, but Everton have had another effort on goal. Rafinha, oh no, it's not Everton. Leeds this time. Rafinha sets up Rodrigo on the edge of the box, and his curling shot is brilliant and beats Jordan Pickford, but crashes against the bar. There you go, see. Half time. Watford 0, Brighton 1. Watford are booed off at half time in Roy Hodgson's first home game in charge. Whoa, he's made a big difference, hasn't he? Good old Uncle Roy. Bless him. I like old Roy. I really do, I have to say. Croydon Roy. Not working his magic. I'm telling you, man, he's a good manager, but I think he might have bitten off more than he can chew with that one. Half time, Brentford 0, Crystal Palace. Half time, and it's Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0. Not many chances, we go in level. So there you go. There you go, folks. What's happened there? Watford 0, Brighton 1. Neil Maupay has scored his 26th league goal for Brighton, moving him level alongside Glenn Murray as the club's leading Premier League goal scorer. Maupay's tally of 8 Premier League goals this season already equals his total from last campaign. Wow. Wow, that's impressive. Yeah, so all the games are half time. It's Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0, Everton 2, Leeds 0, and Watford 0, Brighton 1. So there we go. And I'm just going to check. I've got a message here that I need to read. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I just had an important message I had to read. It's fine. So, So going back to this Arsenal situation, what do you think as Arsenal fans we can realistically do about this mad ass situation? Because we can't go on like this. I mean, this has been going on for like over 2 years now, and the club is going backwards. We're not moving forward, despite what these bloody clueless bloody journalists and muppets who are trying to suck off Mikel Arteta would have us believe. It can't. I mean, it needs to be turned around. The thing is, at the end of the day, Arsenal are no nearer challenging at the top of the table than what we were when Mikel Arteta was appointed. So what we're going to do is he's never obviously going to like have the club to perform, never be able to get the club performing to a high enough level. So what are we going to do? What is the answer? Because I really want to know, because I've had enough. I really have. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. We haven't won a title since what? Well, this season it'll be 18 years. And that's the record amount of time we've had between titles since he's been manager. Record amount of time we've had between titles. I mean, sorry, but I just don't think it's acceptable. I really don't. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but I really want to know, because I'm not happy. I'm not. But anyway, so let's go through the scores. Let's see what the halftime scores are up and down the country. And so far today, we've seen Manchester United draw 1-1 with Southampton. Goals from Sancho for United and Adams for Southampton early in the second half. It's Everton 2, Leeds United 0. Goals from Coleman in the 10th minute and Keane in the 23rd minute have given Everton a 2-0 lead. Watford 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 1. Neil Maupay scored just before the half-time break came to give Brighton a 1-0 lead. And then later on today, Norwich City are taking on Manchester City. Now, I know what Tony said, and I know I have part of me thinks that he might be right, but I've just got a feeling about this Norwich team. I think there's going to be a problem for Man City today. I think they've improved a lot, and I don't think Manchester City are going to have it all their own way today. I think it's going to be a difficult game for Man City. Yeah, I think they'll win, but I don't think it's going to be 4s, 5s, 6s or anything like that. I really don't. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, so in the Club World Cup, in the third place playoff, Al Hilal lost 4-0 against Al Hali, and looks like Al Hilal had 2 players sent off in the first half. Jesus. And Al Halili won by 4-0. The final is today at 4:30 between Chelsea and Palmeiras. And then in the Championship, earlier today, ended Huddersfield Town 0, Sheffield United 0. And in the Championship, At half-time, it's Barnsley 0, Queen's Park Rangers 0. Barnsley are in a lot of trouble at the moment. I know that. I've got a guy who's a Barnsley fan. We follow each other on Insta. And I know he was really upset last weekend with the way his team's FA Cup match was refereed. And it looks like they can't buy win for love nor money. And QPR are pushing for a place in the playoffs. Well, they're in the playoff spot at the moment. But, yeah, they've been flying high and doing well. Except last week they lost in the FA Cup. They were holding the Warrens Team Talk banner. And true to form, the Warrens Team Talk banner brought the holder no luck whatsoever, and they got knocked out by Peterborough United by 2-0. So at the moment, at half-time in that game at Barnsley, it's Barnsley 0, QPR 0. And it's Birmingham City 1, Luton Town 0. It's Blackpool 1, AFC Bournemouth 0. Hull City 0, Fulham 0. Middlesbrough 3, Derby County 1. Jeez. Man, Middlesbrough are going a bit mad there, that's for sure. And yeah, I think there's a bit of needle between these two clubs. I think it's got something to do with Middlesbrough thinking that Derby caused them a bit of a problem with promotion or something. So, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that game didn't get a bit feisty today. Anyway, so carrying on, it's Millwall 0, Cardiff 0. Jesus Christ, I wouldn't want to be wandering around the new den at the moment this afternoon with them two playing each other. Jesus, Millwall and Cardiff, fucking hell, their fans probably the two worst sets of fans in the country. And then Millwall, Cardiff, and Hibs. Fucking hell. They're awful. Their fans are like fucking, it's hooligan central. Nottingham Forest 0, Stoke City 0. Peterborough United 0, Preston North End 0. Reading 1, Coventry 1. Accrington Stand in League 1. It's Accrington Stanley 1, Crewe Alexandra 0, AFC Wimbledon 1, Sunderland 1, Burton Albion 1, Cambridge United 1, Cheltenham Town 2, Fleetwood Town 0, Lincoln City 1, Wycombe Wanderers 0, Milton Keynes Dons 0, Ipswich Town 0, Morecambe 0, Gillingham 0, Oxford United 2, Bolton Wanderers 0, Plymouth Argyle 0, Shrewsbury Town 0, Portsmouth 0, Doncaster Rovers 0, Wigan 1, Charlton Athletic 1. Then in League 2, the game between Barrow and Stevenage didn't kick off. By the looks of it, it's a bit weird. What happened there? Wonder what happened there with the game between Barrow and Stevenage. Why hasn't it kicked off? It's very weird. Anyway, so let's go back. And then it's Dover Athletic 1, Torquay United 1. Eastleigh 0, Yeovil. What am I doing? Yeah, sorry, I was reading out the National League scores. Right, so League 2, half-time. It's Bradford 0, Exeter City 1. Bristol Rovers 0, Mansfield Town 0. Colchester United 0, Carlisle United 0. Crawley Town 0, Hartlepool United 1. Leyton Orient 0, Salford City 0, Newport County 2, Oldham Athletic 1, Port Vale 0, Northampton Town 0, Rochdale 1, Harrogate Town 2, Sutton United 1, Forest Green Rovers 0, Swindon Town 0, Scunthorpe United 0, and Walsall 0, Tranmere Rovers 0. In the National League at half-time, it's Barnet 0, Wealdstone 2, Dover Athletic 1, Torquay United 1, Eastleigh 0, Yeovil Town 0, Grimsby Town 2, Aldershot Town 0, Kingsley Town 0, Altrincham 1, and Weymouth 0, Chesterfield 0. There's a game at 5:20 tonight, and that's between Woking and Southend United. And then National League North, it's AFC Telford United 0, Kidderminster Harriers 1. Alfreton Town 0, Gateshead 2, Blyth Spartans 1, Kettering 2, Boston United 0, Southport 1, Brackley Town 0, AFC Clyde 0, Darlington 1, Chester 1, Farsley Celtic 0, Gloucester City 0, Hereford 1, Guiseley 0, and Leamington 2, Chorley 0. National League South, Bath City 0, Dorking Wanderers 1, Billericay Town 2, Dulwich Hamlet 0, Chelmsford City 0, Hampton and Richmond 0, Concord Rangers 1, Havant and Waterlooville 0, Eastbourne Borough 0, Maidstone United 1, Ebbsfleet United 0, Slough Town 1, Oxford City 1, Hemel Hempstead 0, St Albans City 0, Braintree Town 0, and finally Welling United 0, Chippenham Town 0. In the FA Trophy 5th round, it's Dagenham and Redbridge 0, Spennymoor Town 0, FC Halifax Town 0, Notts County 1, Needham Market 0, Dartford 0, Stockport County 0, Cheshunt 0, Stourbridge 0, Solihull Moors 1, Tunbridge Angels 0, Bromley 0, Wrexham 2, Bournemouth 0, and finally York City 0, Morpeth Town 0. So there you go. That's all the scores from up and down England, from the Premier League down to the National League North and South and the FA Trophy, and we're up to date. And the second half has just kicked off. Perfect timing. And the games kick off. It's Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0, Everton 2, Leeds 0, and it's Watford 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 1. So, let's see. I can feel a what can I feel? With about 25 minutes to go, I'm going to do a mini watch along, I think, for the Everton Leeds game. Unless anyone's got any strong preference for any other game that they'd like me to do instead. The substitutions in the Everton game already. Leeds make changes at the break, which is hardly surprising. Adam Forshaw is on to provide some midfield presence, and Tyler Roberts and Adam Forshaw are on for Rafinha and Matthias Klisch. And Rafinha off is a bit of a shock. That's all 3 lead changes made, so they can't make any further changes. So no further changes are able to be made by Leeds. So if they pick up an injury, they're going to have to play with 10 men. I'm not really sure that's a particularly good idea, but there you go. What can you do? Huh? So let's have a look at the league table as it stands. So if it stays like this, Everton will clear 4 points clear of the bottom 4 in the Premier League. And I'm sure that will please their supporters because they were getting worryingly close to the bottom of the relegation zone anyway. And it will mean that Leeds will get pulled back into the pack because they'll only be a point ahead of Everton. Everton are 18th, 16th, and Leeds currently 15th. Leicester dropped down. Leicester are now 5 places above the relegation zone. Crystal Palace have moved up, but crucially for Leicester, they got back 3 games in hand over Southampton, Aston Villa, and Crystal Palace, the 3 sides that are immediately above them. So there you have it. And Alan Huttons have something to say about Rafinha. He's saying Rafinha was being pushed back. In the first half, Rafinha was defending a lot. Gordon was pushing him back, so they tried to make the change, putting Darren James on the right. So maybe they pushed Darren James out right and they put someone else up front. Who did they bring on for Rafinha? Let's have a look. Yeah, probably. I would have thought they probably pushed Roberts up front and pushed James out into the position that Rafinha had. Anyway, so let's get back and see what's going on in these games. So it's still Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0, Everton 2, Leeds United 0, and Watford 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 1. And at Vicarage Road, Ismail Assar is giving Watford a lot more fizz already. He intercepts a Robert Sanchez kick out and the noise levels go up. It's much more attacking home display. Emmanuel Dennis can't get an early shot in from across and Brighton crowd him out. And at Brentford, Wilfried Zaha had Patrick Vieira in his ear just before this half started, getting a talking to about what was expected. He wasn't really in the game in the first half. Can he make the difference in the second? And Watford against Brighton. And Kiko Firmino powers across in, which is headed behind for a Watford corner, but that comes to nothing. And back at the Brentford Community Stadium, Zaha almost does fashion something with a jinking run and low cross into the box, but a Brentford defender gets a boot in to clear ahead of Jordan Ayew. So, there we go. It's still quite finely poised in all these games, really, because I do feel that if Everton concede, then it could be game on. But anyway, look, your book, son. And a yellow card has been brandished, and it's been brandished, and the culprit is Watford striker Emmanuel Dennis. He's been booked for his umpteenth foul. Fantasy football players curse the Nigerian again. And at Vicarage Road, it's Watford 0, Brighton 1. And it's like a dip from Watford in this half. That's what two subs can do. Home fans whistle as Robert Sanchez takes his time to clear after catching Kiko Firmino's cross. So yeah, probably I would imagine that Uncle Roy told them a few home truths as well. So up to Goodison Park now, and Everton continue to win most of the 50-50 balls in this match. It's the work rate and fight that will most delight the Blues fans, that's for sure. So, yeah, it's now just gone 4:15, and 55 minutes gone, or nearly an hour gone now, and it's Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0, and Everton 2, Leeds 0, and Watford 0, Brighton 1. To give a bit of a visual nod to that fight, Donny van de Beek now has a bloody tissue up his nose following a clash with a Leeds player in midfield. So there you go. But let's go and see if the teams have been announced for the Chelsea Palmeiras game. See if they're going to announce it. Yeah, so here we go. Chelsea are going into the game with a 3-4-2-1. They're going with Mendy in goal, a back three of Christensen, Thiago Silva, Rudiger, and Azpilicueta, Kante, Kovacic, Hudson-Odoi, Mount, Havertz, and then Lukaku up front. And on the bench, they've got on the bench, they've got Arrizabalaga, Alonso, Jorginho, Pulisic, Werner, Bettinelli, Chalobah, Sal, Barkley, Ziyech, Kennedy, and Sarr. And Palmeiras are going for a 4-2-3-1. And they're going for Pereira da Silva in goal, a back four of Aquino, Gomez, Teixeira, Piqueires, and then in midfield they've gone for two at the base of the midfield of Dos Santos, de Oliveira, and Vivian, and then an attacking three midfield players of Pereira and Rodriguez Silva, I'd imagine that is, and Caval Centre Vega, and Furtado Scarpa, and then up front they've gone with De Silva Barbosa. So the number 7 is Piero Rodriguez Sotero. Not what I said. And their substitutes are Kusevich, De Oliveira Moraes, Robiero Silva, Rocha de Oliveira, Brum Silva Acosta, Vascos Gonzalez Lopez, Tuesta, Seguera, Payne, Navarro, Lille, Marquez, Sequeira, Oliveira Mendes, and Lombardi Nascimento. So 63 minutes gone. It's still Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0, Everton 2, Leeds United 0, and Watford 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 1. So let's see what the tail of the tape is telling us in all these games. So if we go to the Brentford Community Stadium first, and in this game, Brentford have had 42% possession against Crystal Palace's 58. Brentford have had 7 shots, 1 on target, and Crystal Palace have had 3 shots with 1 on target. And the corner count is 2 to Brentford and 5 to Crystal Palace. And then the fouls is 6 to Brentford and 5 to Crystal Palace. Well, unless both of these teams, and well, at least unless one of these teams at least starts testing the opposition goalkeeper a bit more, this game's like headed for a 0-0 draw, that's for sure, because they've only had 1 shot on target each in this game. So they need to be doing more if they want to score a goal, that's for sure. Everton Leeds, let's see what's going on here. So in this game, Goodison Park, Everton have had 43% possession. They've had 13 shots on goal, 8 of which have been on target. They've won 3 corners and had 6 fouls. Now, Leeds, on the other hand, have had 57% possession. They've had 6 shots, none on target, and they've had 3 corners and 9 fouls. So, look at that. In the 3 o'clock kickoffs, the away teams have had only 1 shot on target between the 2 of them. So, yeah, it's not good, is it? So, let's go and see what's going on at Vicarage Road in the game between Watford and Brighton. Remember, Brighton have 1-0 up after a goal was scored by Neil Maupay in the 44th minute, and it was assisted by Tariq Lamptey as well. So the tail of the tape says 36% possession to Watford, and they've had 5 shots, none on target, 3 corners and 10 fouls. Brighton have had 64% possession. Brighton have had 64% possession. They've had 5 shots, 3 on target, and they've had 4 corners. Brighton have, and they've committed 8 fouls. So there you go. You're up to date there. And across those 3 games, it's still Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0, Everton 2, Leeds United 0, Watford 0, Brighton 0. Brighton 1. So there you go. Let's go and see what's going on with the rugby, because not much is happening here, is it? We're almost into the last 20 minutes now. And in the big game in Cardiff, Wales beat Scotland by 20.17. And in about 18 minutes time, France are going to kick off with Ireland. And then tomorrow, it's the wooden spoon playoff between Italy and England. Right. Okay. So 70 minutes gone in the Brentford and Crystal Palace game. It's 0-0 there. 65 minutes gone at Goodison Park, and it's Everton 2, Leeds United 0. And Vicarage Road, 70 minutes there, and it's Watford 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 1. So I think the time has come for me to turn this thing into a mini watch along, and I'm going to go with the Everton game. Right. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't show you the action, but I can talk you through what's going on, and let's talk about it. So Everton are 2-0 up. Thanks to goals from Seamus Coleman in the 10th minute and Keane in the 23rd minute. And there's a substitution being made by the looks of it. Who's it going on? Looks like Calvert-Lewin is going on. It's going off. Hugs and high fives all over the place. And who's this that's come on? "71 minutes played at Goodison." Everton have a throw-in on the right-hand side, and it goes back out of play, and it's a Leeds throw-in. Leeds trying to play it out from the back. It's on the left-hand side of the defence. Plays ball forward into midfield, and they've lost possession of it. Everton have the ball now on the edge of the Leeds area, and Everton try and breaks it into the penalty area. Ball gets played across the penalty area and gets headed clear. Everton on the attack again, pushing forward down the left-hand side, and cuts inside one way and then the other. And it's an Everton throw-in on the left-hand side, deep in the Leeds half. Frank Lampard's in deep discussion with his assistant. Leeds get the ball clear, but it comes back again. And Leeds just seem to be under constant pressure here. They seem to be unable to ease the pressure on them, but they break now and they're pushing forward. The ball gets played out wide to the edge, just to the edge of the Leeds half, but it's played just a wee bit too strong. And it goes out of play, for an Everton goal kick. Someone's just got a booking here. Not quite sure why, but I think it was a Wobie. Yeah, I can see now why he got booked. I think the referee thinks it was a bit of a dangerous challenge. I don't think it was that bad. I've seen far worse than that go unpunished. So anyway, it's an Everton goal kick. Pickford kicks the ball long, deep into the Leeds territory. It's on the left-hand side. On the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the Leeds penalty area. It's gone out for an Everton throw-in. What's happened there? So someone saying LFL Bochum have thrashed Bayern Munich. Yeah, Bochum beaten Bayern Munich by 4-2. It's a massive shock there. Anyway, back to this game. So an Everton throwing on the right-hand side of the Leeds defence. It's gone out for another throw-in to Everton. Seamus Coleman takes it. It's on the left-hand side of the Leeds penalty area. It's on Leeds' left-hand side and Everton's right-hand side as they push forward. Ball knocked into the penalty area and clumped clear by Leeds. Again, it's long ball forward again by Leeds. And Leeds seem to be finding it very difficult to retain possession in this game. Leeds knocking it around at the back now. This is looking a lot better from Leeds, to be honest. They're knocking it about quite confidently here at the moment. Back to the Leeds goalkeeper, who locks the ball long and forward, but they're not able to hold it up, and it falls to Everton. Everton moving forward now on the edge of the Leeds half, and Richarlison shoots, and it's in. It's another one. It's 3-0 for Everton. Another goal for Everton. 3-0 up. And what a goal that was. Richarlison struck it from the edge of the Leeds penalty area into the bottom right, into the Everton goalkeeper's bottom right hand, Leeds goalkeeper's bottom right hand corner. And that's made it Everton 3, Leeds United. And the other games are still Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0, and it's now Everton 3, Leeds United 0. and Watford 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 1. So Richarlison struck that with his left foot into the bottom right-hand corner of the bottom right corner of the Leeds goalkeeper's goal. And fantastic goal from Richarlison. And Everton now winning by 3-0. So I think that's Leeds done now. You'd think. Can't really see them coming back from this. However, they did make a dramatic comeback last weekend, but I can't see that feat being repeated here. And Leeds pushing forward, but they slip over and again lose possession. They just don't look very confident at all in possession, Leeds. They don't seem to be able to retain possession at all. As soon as they get put under any pressure, they seem to lose possession of the ball. That's what seems to be happening for me. So the Leeds on the edge of the Everton penalty area. Ball got lumped clear by the Leeds defence, by the Everton defence. It's now back in Leeds possession. Now, despite everything I've just said, Leeds are retaining possession quite well, and they're moving forward, and they're on the edge of the Everton box on the right-hand side as they're attacking. It's a throw-in for Leeds. And the TV's just showing the pictures from the Everton goal again, the Everton third goal, and Everton made another substitution. Gordon's come off, and he's been replaced by El Ghazi. And Everton comfortably 3-0 up here to me. I really can't see Leeds getting back into this. I think it's just a matter of Everton seeing the game out for what's left of this match, probably another 8 minutes of normal time, and then whatever the referee adds on for stoppage time. Ball comes across the area, that's too high and hard for the Everton players waiting inside the box. And Dele Alli is on for Everton as well. Ball gets played back to the Leeds keeper. And Leeds with their white shirts, white shorts, and yellow stockings, luminous yellow stockings. Trying to work an opening, but not really succeeding, to be honest. They're not really troubling Everton at all at this stage. And the ball's into the Everton penalty area, having said that. And it's a Leeds United corner. And it's a Everton goal kick. Jordan Pickford's going to launch a long one by the looks of it. And the game's getting a bit scrappy now. As we reach the closing stages of the game, as the Leeds player down injured, and Lorient is going down, holding himself. Charlison went down under a challenge by him. He was holding his head, but I'm not really sure why. But Charlison's coming off. He's high-fiving all his teammates and other people in the crowd. So, yeah, like I say, the game's getting to get scrappy. And neither side is able to string more than about 2 or 3 passes together. But Everton look completely in control of this game now, to be honest. And I think this is going to be a comfortable victory for them. Can't really see them messing it up from this point. So it comes back out to the Leeds centre back. Plays it forward. And it's just gone out of play now. And it's a goal kick for Leeds. Plays it out to the defence. And it's in the defensive segment of the field for Leeds. Leeds playing around in their midfield. Sorry, I can't give you the names of the players who are in possession, but I'm watching it on my phone and they all look really small, so it's difficult to see who's who. And I certainly can't read the numbers anyway. So Everton have won the ball back. They're pushing forward down their Leeds, down the Leeds left-hand side. It's gone out for a throw-in, which is going to go to Leeds. And Leeds lose possession, and it's gone out for another throw. This time again, it's gone to Leeds. Leeds trying to work it the way out of defence with the ball now. And then pushing forward into their midfield. They're in their midfield on the right-hand side. Move it forward. And it's now an Everton throw-in midway through the Everton half. And Leeds have possession. They're in the midway point between the goal and the Everton half. They're down on the left-hand side now. And they cross it into the box, and it's headed easily clear by Everton. Ball comes back across again, deep into Everton territory on the edge of the Everton box. Push the ball back inside the 6-yard box, but there's no one there to collect it. So the other games, and there's been another goal at Watford, and it's not good news for Watford. It's now Watford 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 2, and it's been scored by Webster in the 82nd minute. So that probably seals Watford's fate, I would imagine. Comfortable win there for Brighton by 2-0, and they're now playing. They're into the first minute of added time at the end of the game. So I think that's that. And it's 0-0 between Brentford and Crystal Palace. It's Everton 3, Leeds United 0, and it's Wolves 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. So it looks like Everton have got a corner here. The game, the Club World Cup final was kicked off, and it's Chelsea 0, Palmeiras 0. So the dying embers of the games now from our 3 o'clock kickoffs, and it's Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0. We're in the first minute of added time there, and it's Everton 3, Leeds United 0, and there's 3 minutes of added time to be played there, and they're into the second minute of added time. And it's Watford 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. So Everton in possession now. They're pushing forward. Just seeing out time till the game finishes now. They've done enough to win this game now. There's no way that Leeds are going to stage the most dramatic of comebacks to get themselves back in the game. The ball comes back across the Leeds penalty area, but Leeds are able to clear the ball, and the Leeds player, Hajeldos, or whatever his name is, Hajelda, has injured himself in doing so, and the medical team are on giving him treatment. And it's finished at Vicarage Road. It's Watford 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. And 4 minutes of added time have been played. Brentford Community Stadium, and it's Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0. And still Everton 3, Leeds United 0. And the Leeds player has been escorted off for further treatment. And the Leeds coach looks extremely concerned, and rightly so, because I can see this side. I hate to say it, but I can see them going down this season. I can see them getting sucked into a relegation dogfight, but I have to say they look terrible. And the game's finished at Goodison Park, and it's Everton 3, Leeds United 0. A comfortable victory in the end for Everton by 3-0. And it's also ended at Brentford Community Stadium, and it's Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0. So good point there for Crystal Palace, I'm sure. And let's see if we can see the table. So there you go. Crystal Palace moved up to 12th. Leicester have dropped down to 13th, but like I said earlier, they've got 3 games in hand, or even 4 on Brentford on the sides around them. Everton have sucked Leeds closer to them. They're only a point behind Leeds now. Everton are in 16th. Leeds are in 15th. Brentford 14th. Leicester 13th. Palace 12th. For me, this means that there's still quite a few sides that are in danger of the drop, but I feel the ones that are in most danger for me are Newcastle, Everton, Norwich, Watford, Leeds and Brentford. And the Everton faithful look very happy with the result, as I'm sure they would be. But anyway, so that's the end of that. Let's go and see what the scores are up and down the country in the other games that have been played today. So let's go and do that. So it's still Chelsea 0, Palmeiras 0 in the Club World Cup final. And in the Championship, it ended Huddersfield Town 0, Sheffield United 0, Middlesbrough 4, Derby County 1, Millwall 2, Cardiff 1, Peterborough United 0, Preston North End 1, Reading 2, Coventry City 3. The other games in the Championship are still being played. The games are finished in League One. It's AFC Wimbledon 1, Sunderland 1, and it's Lincoln. So it's Cheltenham Town 2, Fleetwood Town 0, Morecambe 1, Gillingham 1, Oxford United 2, Bolton Wanderers 3, Plymouth Argyle 1, Shrewsbury Town 0. And in League 2, it ended Bristol Rovers 0, Mansfield Town 0, Colchester United 2, Carlisle United 2, Leyton Orient 0, Salford City 2, Sutton United 1, Forest Green Rovers 1, Swindon Town 3, Scunthorpe United 0. Grimsby Town 3, Aldershot Town 1. Alfreton Town 0, Gateshead 4. And all the other games in those leagues are still being played. And the FA Trophy, it ended, and the games that finished, it ended Halifax Town 1, Notts County 2, Needham Market 1, Dartford 0, Stockport County 1, Cheshunt 0. So big up Dan Evans. Glad to see your side won today, mate. I hope you're happy with that and that you didn't lose your season ticket this time. Stourbridge 0, Solihull Muirs 1. And then it ended Wrexham 3, Bournemouth 0. York City 3, Morpeth Town 2. And the Scottish Championship, it's currently Kilmarnock 2, Dunfermline Athletic 1. And it's ended actually Kilmarnock 2, Dunfermline Athletic 1. Greenock Morton 2, Queen of the South 1. And in the Scottish Cup, it's currently Hearts 0, Livingston 0, extra time being played there. Motherwell 2, Aberdeen 1. And that's finished. Motherwell 2, Aberdeen 1. A big scalp there for Motherwell. Partick Thistle 0, Dundee United 1. And St Mirren 4, Kelty Hearts 0. And potential upset on the cards there if Livingston are able to overcome Hearts. So yeah, there we go. It's all done and dusted, as they say. So let's just take another look at the Premier League title, and mainly it's all about the bottom of the table today. Like I say, Everton have sucked Leeds United back into the relegation battle. Brentford and Southampton Brentford and Crystal Palace fought out a goalless draw. So yeah, it's getting very tight down there. Any number of clubs could be, if they're not careful, could be sucked into this dogfight. So yeah, that magical 40-point barrier is looking more and more likely to be breached, I would say. But we'll see. So Uncle Roy didn't do well in his first game in charge at the Vicarage Road, losing by 2-0 to Brighton. And the new manager bounce seems to be in evidence for Frank Lampard. His Everton win by 3-0 against, in my opinion, a very poor Leeds United side. Well, it was from the last 20 minutes or so when I started watching it. They just didn't seem to be able to retain possession that well. They didn't look confident. So, yeah, I think they're going to have to be really careful because otherwise they could end up in a relegation dogfight. And, yeah. So, let's wrap this up now, I think. So yeah, just to remind you or anyone who's interested, I did make a petition a few weeks ago on the change.org website. It's still available. The link for it is in the description of this video. If you're interested in wanting to sign it, please feel free to sign it. It's completely free of charge. And the idea is that we're trying to tell Arsenal that we don't want them to offer Mikel Arteta a new contract. 2 and a bit years of this madness is enough for me, to be quite frank. And now I just want to pick up the GoonerClaude Trust. GoonerClaude Trust offers opportunities for disadvantaged kids to be able to attend football matches at the Emirates Stadium to see Arsenal play. It's a whole day out for them and their family, so they can go and watch the Arsenal. Something that was very dear to the heart of Claude, who the trust was set up in memory of. Those who don't know, Claude was a huge Arsenal fan, and he appeared regularly on Arsenal Fan TV, AFTV, and after the relationship got sour between him and AFTV, he went off and made his own channel, the Claude and the Bansters channel, and which was very successful with his two sidekicks, Terry and Diesel. And and then when he sadly died at the end of last year, his family decided to set this trust up in his memory, and what an excellent trust it is as well. So there's a link for that in the description. Please go and check it out and find out more about the work they do. It's very excellent and worthwhile charity, and they do excellent work. And I just want to spend a few minutes just bigging up these, bigging up, or as they call it, or praising some of these other YouTube channels and recommending them to you. There's the Old School Gunner. The lad's been supporting Arsenal since 1992, and on his channel he discusses all things Arsenal, and he brings you insightful Arsenal content. Really great guy, very passionate Arsenal fan, and he certainly knows his stuff, that's for sure. Arsenal Alex, another really passionate Arsenal fan, loves anything to do with Arsenal, and he brings you excellent Arsenal content, including instant match reactions. He's a great Arsenal man, and I really like his content. I really do. He sits on the same side of the fence as me as regards to what's going on at the club at the moment, and because it's a mess. It's an absolute mess, and I completely agree with everything he says about it all. And then there's DrawnByDre. He brings you top quality Arsenal related content, including his highly rated and excellent possession based podcast. And then there's the Aussie Gooner. The Aussie Gooner channel is an Aussie guy who brings you everything to do with Arsenal from an Aussie perspective, and his videos are absolutely superb. The way he breaks down all the information, all the stats, the facts, and talking points for Arsenal games is second to none, in my opinion. A really top guy. And then last but not least, there's Diesel Arsenal. He's got the fastest growing new channel on YouTube. Diesel is a former presenter on the Claude and the Bansters channel, and he presents discussions on all things to do with Arsenal, as well as to do watch-alongs, and as well as he also wants to present discussions on films, dating, topical issues, mental health, and amongst many other topics. And the other night he had a big discussion about the incident with Kurt Zuma, which was very interesting and quite radical and very, very controversial, let's say that. So links for all these channels are in the description of the video. Please feel free to click on the links and go and find out more about these channels. Give them all a sub, click on the like button for their videos and share their content around. And I'm sure you won't regret it. Excellent channels in my opinion. So yeah, go and give them some support. Anyway, that's it from me for today. I hope you enjoyed the show. Good wins for Everton and Brighton, and a draw for Brentford and Crystal Palace. So yeah, so we move on. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow to do a video about what's been going on at Arsenal recently and with the transfer market and the transfer window, I should say, and the fallout from that and all the other things that have happened, and have a discussion about what's going to happen next at the club and where do we go, what do we want to happen, because we can't go on like this. It's just getting more and more ridiculous as each day passes. So let's see. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I say, please take care of yourselves and each other, and please remember to keep talking, and please remember to share some love and kindness around the world. Please remember to put a like on the video. Please don't forget to share the content around, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate that. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.